Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Snapdragon from the Earthrise line. The only reason I have him paired up here with Grimlock is because I don't have anything else I can possibly compare him to. I've never had one of these before, so this is the best I can do. Alright, and here is Snapdragon out of the box. Looking real nice. I noticed all the joints were nice and stiff. Some of the colors are an interesting choice. They're not the more realistic, muted sort of earth colors. We got a lot of teals and purples and a yellowish on the cockpit. So we're getting sort of a different color scheme from it. It still looks pretty cool. Like I said, I don't have much experience with this figure. I've never had one. Wasn't familiar with it as a G1 character. So let's take a look at articulation. Let's see. I'm going to take his guns out first. We can take a look at those quickly. They're both the same, but pretty nice detailing on there. There's no paint. Looks like they're just molded in purple. And there's a tear from like a sprue or whatever in the end here. No hole in the end, so it doesn't look like we can put any blast effects in, but it is nice. And there's some nice detailing in the little corners. You can see it when the light hits it. And as I said, they're both the same. All right, for articulation, just getting standing all prim and proper. Okay, so the head can turn all the way around. Can't really look up. Can kind of look down, but no, because I guess the headmaster here is getting in the way. His arms. Ooh, what are we getting caught on here? Well, it looks like the arms can do a 360, but you're going to get caught on the backpack and with part of this wing, so you just kind of have to angle it out a bit. And we've got, oh, well, that's awkward. Got a less than 90 degree single jointed elbow. And let's see, we do have bicep swivel. I'm gonna guess these hands don't do a whole lot of anything. Nope, they're just kind of stuck on there. Oh, there's a big screw right there. All right. So it doesn't look like we can do anything with those. Arms go out. Wow, decently. Pretty decent. And again, you can get it to do the 360. You just gotta move it past that part. Really disappointed with the elbow, though. I mean, that's it. That's as far as it goes. So, kind of disappointing. All right, let's see. Legs kick up pretty far. Kick back pretty good. Let me get these guys out of the way. Okay. Let's see. They go out. Woo-hoo-hoo! All the way. And we've got only about a 90, well, like slightly more, but basically a 90 degree bend at the knee. And we do have a thigh swivel. And that must be part of transformation, but we can angle the feet up a little bit. There is a rocker, but obviously none of this stuff turns. All right, so again, for a robot, you know, it's going to do its job. It's not going to be super dynamic, but not as good as some of the other ones we've taken a look at. Let's get a little bit closer look at some of these details. It looks really nice. They did put a lot of work into the mold. I like that. A little bit of sculpt underneath there. Oh, looks like that's a hand. A T-Rex hand. Let's put him into his first alt mode and see what we get. Here we have him in alt mode number 1, and he looks pretty good. You know, obviously there's a lot of kibble, but you know, you just look at it quick, like that looks like a spaceship or some kind of jet fighter. And then we can put him. Whoa! That's alright, it's not broken. Whoops. I just retracted the landing gear for some reason. Alright. Oh, man. Showing off those mad skills. Okay. There we go. There, I think. That's pretty close. So we got him in there. And then we got the rest of jet mode here. So that's pretty neat. Lots of, extra play value in there because you can actually have somebody sitting in it. But now this is where I start to draw a bit of a distinction, because I feel like in Transformers, when they're in alt mode, they're still who they are. Like, they still are conscious and they can still, control themselves. They don't need anyone piloting them. All right, taking another look at him here in jet mode. It looks pretty good. I'm going to bring out a couple more in vehicle mode, do a quick comparison, and then we'll move on to the next alt mode. So we've got Snapdragon here with Starscream, just for comparison's sake. And they look to be roughly the same size. However, when you take into account that I guess there's one or maybe two people that are supposed to sit in there versus, if this is supposed to house one person and this is supposed to house maybe another and then another two, like it doesn't quite scale up correctly. Let me zoom out a little bit. or I could just try to knock the whole thing over. They do scale up pretty well. Let's throw Astro Train in there. All right. There. Lame. And then just a good old measuring stick. So the Snapdragon is shorter than Prime. All right. Let's get him into his other mode. Hopefully that'll be a bit more enjoyable. And here we have Snapdragon in dinosaur mode, T-Rex mode. I don't really know what we would call this here. It looks pretty good. It's about as convincing a mode as jet mode is at being a jet. There's not a whole lot. With triple changers, it's always hard. Jack of all trades, master of none. So it's kind of hard for them to pull off a decent transformation. Won't lie, I'm a bit disappointed with Snapdragon. I thought the jet mode looked cool. In the promotional materials, I thought the jet mode looked cool. I thought the dinosaur mode looked somewhat convincing. I thought, that's pretty cool, kind of versatile, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I just, I don't think I'll be hanging on to it. I'll probably move it along. Hopefully, somebody else will get some enjoyment out of it instead of me just throwing it in a bin and never looking at it again. So, but I'm glad I checked it out. Don't really have much experience with triple changers other than Astro Train, and I think Astro Train kind of spoiled me for triple changers because his spaceship mode's great, and his train mode's great, and his robot mode's great. This guy had a lot to live up to, but he's not bad. All the joints are stiff. The transformation made sense. It's not really a jet. It's not really a dinosaur, and it's a meh kind of robot mode, and I don't really like the headmaster thing, so this one's not really for me, but it does look cool, when it's transformed up. So I'm gonna grab some of these guys that are still in their alt modes and we'll just compare them up. While I realize I haven't had much praise for Snapdragon, I will say he is leaps and bounds better than this hunk of shit. Peekaboo. But there he is with Megs, Screamer, my main man, Astro Train. I put him in his other mode. Mr. Prime. As it should, this mode stands taller than the other alt modes because we want it to be a dinosaur. It should be bigger. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just hate him. Ugh. And here we have him back in robot mode where we started. And he's a good figure. He's just not quite what I was expecting and not really what I want for my collection. That doesn't mean that you won't enjoy him. It's just not for me. The alt modes were okay, but he's not too bad. He's just not for me. So I appreciate you watching the video, and please feel free to go through some of my other ones, and I'll see you in the next one.